The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt, so get ready, nerds, because we're talking The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Episode 4. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on the Salty Nerd Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the 4th episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I'm joined, as always, by my panel of nerds, starting with Tom. What's up, dude?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me back.
You're taking over for Matt this week.
Not taking over. Never.
Just for the week.
I'm sitting in his chair and keeping it warm for him.
Okay. And then when I leave, you're going to be taking my spot.
Well, he's going to take my spot, and I'm going to take your spot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Ooh, Jude's going to be hosting. Get ready for that, guys. Coming up soon.
Sorry in advance.
Don't apologize.
Like, this is My Little Pony week, and I don't care what you guys say.
I'm going to be checked out the window, gone. See you later. Don't contact me.
Alex is having a baby.
I am. Number 3 for me. Crazy, crazy world I live in. Also, did I introduce Jude? Jude?
Hi, I'm Jude.
Hi, Jude's here.
They know.
All right. And Matthew Kadish, producer of the show.
I am hating this show more and more the deeper we get into
This
this
is so
series.
crazy.
Wait, the Salty Nerd Show or...
Both, yeah.
He's regretting his life choices.
Yeah.
I saw on Twitter, like I watched the episode and I had a ton of fun with this episode. I thought it was the best one. I was not into the first 3.
It's the best one yet.
And I've watched this one. I was like, wow, that was really like, this is where I wanted it to be the whole time.
It's the dumbest one.
And then I disagree.
Whoa.
And then I saw him tweet that it was the worst one. And I'm like, did I miss something?
No. I thought this was the better
Of the 4.
of the 4. This is my favorite one.
Yeah, agree.
The
I
first
agree.
episode's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Second one was boring.
I can't get a loan, y'all. Like, you're the Falcon. Sell something. Bill Clinton makes $10 million an appearance.
You could go and do a talk on a freaking bank. And boom.
yeah, write a book.
Yeah.
Write a book. Yeah.
Do a flyover at a freaking Knights game. And
Sell some merchandise.
right, yeah.
You could do all kinds of things to make money.
So many things.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But this, I felt like this episode was way better. But Kadish is going to dive into it step by step, and we'll interrupt him as we see necessary or as we see fit, whatever you want to. Just go ahead. Go, take it away. What's this episode all about?
All right, so this is episode 4 of season 1, entitled "The Whole World Is Watching," and we start off with a flashback to Wakanda 6 years ago as Io helps Bucky break his Hydra training. In the present, Io gives Bucky 15 hours to do what he needs with Zemo before she comes for him. Bucky warns Zemo about the Dora Milaje and how they have a ticking clock by which they have to find Carli.
So I particularly loved the scene in Wakanda because it was kind of that thing that we never got a chance to see, how Bucky broke out of the...
It bridged a good gap.
Yeah, it was a really good thing to watch. And the acting was fantastic. Sebastian Stan knocked it out of the park in this scene.
Yeah, he's good.
Where he's fighting that inner pain of his brains trying to play tricks on him, and he finally breaks the mold, and he's so happy he just starts weeping in joy.
Sebastian Stan's been good in every Marvel. Yeah. He's been good.
Yeah, Bucky is by far one of my favorite characters in the MCU.
He's tortured. He's interesting.
Yeah, really cool, interesting character, and he's a badass. So
yeah.
I enjoy the hell out of watching him. So I really enjoyed this scene. Jude, what did you think about it?
Dug it.
Yeah.
Anytime I get more Bucky, I'm on board, and I'm gonna say such a weird thing. I really like long hair Bucky.
You don't like his new do?
I don't hate it,
okay,
but I like long hair Bucky. I don't know. There's just like something to that, because that's how I was introduced to this character. He's like, he's got the long hair and he's disheveled and he's like got layers and tortured. Yeah, like that's the Winter Soldier that I'm into, is the tortured one. Sorry, that's weird. But anytime I get more Bucky, I'm into finding out what's going on here. And I really wanted to know what happened in Wakanda too.
Okay, cool.
With Ao.
What are your thoughts, Kadish?
Yeah, I mean, Bucky's character journey is so much more interesting than anything Sam has going on.
I wish Sam had a more interesting character arc.
Sam's whole character arc is, why'd I give up the shield? I don't... like, Sam, be Captain America. I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Yeah, but he keeps being Captain America.
Yeah, he's already taking over the mantle. He just doesn't want to admit it, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because you'd think that would be like an honor for him. Like another thing, I don't understand the motivation behind Sam. Like, why would he not? I don't get it. It's like out of left field. Like they couldn't think of anything to give him to be troubled over or to have a character arc. So they gave him bad credit and a inferiority complex with Cap.
Yeah, and the sister with the kids, and he's like the uncle, and the whole thing is weird.
I mean, I'm okay with him having a family. I just didn't really expect them to be focusing that much on it.
I guess so.
And the thing with him calling, or his sister calling him in the last episode when they were at the, it was like, oh my God.
You need to pay these bills.
It was so ridiculous.
You're over there saving the universe and shit, like, and I'm over here on my shrimp boat. And like,
I named the boat.
Yeah. So
I named the boat Jenny.
Oh. Doesn't the boat have a dumb name too?
I don't know.
The boat does have a dumb name.
I think it did have a dumb name. This is like Sweet Susie or something.
Yeah, dumb, yeah.
All right, what happens next, Katie?
All right, so next, the Flag Smashers watch a video about the depot explosion from the last episode and how one of the workers was a father of two. In response to the bombing, the GRC is fast-tracking the Patch Act to restore traditional border regulations and fast-track the return to normalcy. The Flag Smashers' actions have gotten a lot of attention, and their cause is gaining popularity. Now, we talked a little bit last week about how there was a whole like virus subplot that was removed from the series, and they're kind of like patching it over with like this weird Flag Smasher storyline. And what I find odd is that they haven't set up the fact that like after the snap happened, a lot of countries like reshaped their borders or like dropped their borders or something like that, and the world became a little bit more unified. And then once the blip happened, old, borders were being redrawn, and like, I guess old rivalries and schisms and stuff like that were reoccurring. And so like, they haven't given us, like they've given us hints about it, but they haven't really told us what the landscape is that we're operating in this show. And I find it very confusing.
Yeah, they do need to do a better job of explaining what the world that this takes place in is like.
We've glazed over the blip.
Yeah.
I mean, completely. In Spider-Man Homecoming, they just go back to school, and they're like, 5 years older. Like, we're back in high school again.
Yeah, and they go on the European vacation.
Nothing changes. Everything's fine and normal. Then you start watching, WandaVision hints that life was real crappy.
Yeah.
But they don't say anything. And then this one's letting you believe that there was like terrorism and craziness going on, but they never give it to us.
Well, in Endgame, we meet up with Hawkeye, and he's out there just like murdering like gangs and stuff during the blip, which there's like half the population of the Earth is gone.
Right.
And Ant-Man talks about how crappy things are. When Ant-Man shows back up, he's like walking around the world, and it's just like disheveled. It's like a post-apocalyptic. Like things are really, really bad.
Yeah, and people are like going through trauma. They have to go to these like
therapy sessions,
group therapy sessions.
Steve Rogers is leading an AA meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like everything's really, really shitty during the blip, but then in this show, it's like after the snap is undone, everything goes back to normal, and then it's shitty again.
And also in the original, like, I think shoot and story and stuff like that, before they had to like rejigger it to get rid of the virus subplot, the Flag Smashers were actually like raiding these GRC facilities and getting the supplies that they were sitting on and distributing them to the populace that needed them. And so like, that's why they were getting support.
Isn't that what they're doing in this show?
They are, but
that's what they're doing
for a good reason, right?
Well, they're not really explaining it very well, because like on, in episode 2 where they had the fight on those trucks, the trucks were full of a vaccine, but you're like, what's the vaccine for? Like, who did they give that to? And basically they've kind of dropped all that stuff and just focused on like, okay, these guys have a super soldier serum, and they're thinking about creating more super soldiers to join their cause and stuff like that.
So,
like when we saw the truck full of vaccines, like I know in the original version, it was the vaccines for this super flu or whatever it is. But now that they've reshot it, now they want us to, they kind of alluded to like, those vaccines are full of the serum. But then in this episode, she's only got like 4
a fanny
serums.
pack worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of with you on that. So the way I took it, and the way that I'm kind of taking it from the shows, explaining it to me, is like they are basically like Robin Hood. They're taking supplies that this government facility is sitting on and not distributing. They're stealing it from them and distributing it to those in need. Same thing for the vaccine. It was just like a one-time shot. Like, hey, there's these vaccines that this company is sitting on, this corporation. We're going to steal them and give them to people that need it. And it's just like every time it's like a new set of supplies that they're going after each time. And in this one, they're like, look, our numbers are dwindling. We need more people so that we can do more good. I still kind of see them as a Robin Hood. And
yes,
you know, she bombed that facility in the last episode, and they talked about it in this one how she killed a bunch of people.
Don't worry, they saved the supplies.
But they saved the supplies, so she is doing good, but in a bad way.
Well, it's like there's a thought experiment on that one.
Yeah,
it's the you have the 3 people on the train track, and the train's coming towards them. You can pull a lever and save all 3, but you're going to kill one person. What do you do?
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. So I kind of still see the Flag Smashers as sympathetic at this point.
They're Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll kill if they have to, but it's for the greater good.
Yes, that's how I see them.
And she's the same. She was in Solo, right?
Yeah, she's Enfys Nest.
So same exact character, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, same exact character.
All right, Kate.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so Bucky, Sam, and Zemo go to the refugee center where Mamadonias died and ask around about her, but are met with scorn and mistrust. A teacher says that they're not refugees, but internationally displaced persons, and that the GRC never delivered the supplies that they were promised months ago. Zemo bribes some kids with Turkish Delight candy to learn about the location of Mamadonias' funeral and doesn't share the details with Sam or Bucky.
Okay, so this is still, again, going forward with the setup. I'm not confused by anything at this point. I think it's pretty solid and straightforward. They're trying to find Enfys Nest, trying to find out where she is. Yeah. They know that somebody close to her died, so they're going to find out where the funeral is to try and track her down. I like Zemo, best character in the freaking show, besides Bucky.
Gotta hate him.
What?
Gotta hate him so
Why do you hate Zemo?
I don't
Come on, bro.
Because he dances better than you?
I have no moves. I'm a one drink bobbing up and downer. Like I'm the
yeah, man.
Yeah. Do you bite your lip?
Sometimes. Well, if I dance with my bros, not so much.
Why do you hate Zemo?
I just think it's so stupid.
What?
Because so in the comic books he's whatever. I don't care about that. But in the character is not the same as the one that they created for Civil War. And all of a sudden he's just like this rich playboy, and he's Bruce Wayne. And I'm like, when did he become Bruce Wayne? And they're like, Sokovia, whatever. And you just go with it.
He was a baron.
At no point was he
like a royalty.
At no point was he a baron in.
He was kind of shrouded in mystery, though.
He was a soldier. He was a soldier. He was a captain or something like that.
Yeah.
They go over it in Civil War. But
you can be rich and be in the military. Yeah,
but they're not like they would have said, this is Baron Zemo. He's royalty of Sokovia. He's also a soldier. They would have said that.
So you're mad that they kind of just shoehorn this whole rich.
Yeah, because he is Baron Zemo. That's his comic book name, Baron Zemo.
Okay.
Right? In this one, he's just Zemo. But because he is Baron Zemo, but now he's Zemo. No, now he's back to Baron Zemo, and we're going to give him the mask that he never wore before.
We're also going to make him a Baron.
Yeah, and the fur coat thing, because that's all what Baron Zemo wears in the comics.
Yeah.
It's just like they're shoehorning that in, so it's annoying to a purist. They just change his character completely. I like the actor. I like everything he does. I don't like him in this.
Okay, really?
It's bugging me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just because they put that extra character aspect to him.
I think so. Yeah.
It's not the actual, his acting is good in this movie.
No, I like it. He's a good actor. I like it.
And I like his character, how manipulative he is.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's just not the same character.
Okay.
They could have given me a different character, and it would have been the same thing.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Jude, do you have any thoughts?
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay, just continue.
All right, back at the safe house, Sam defends Carli and her flag smasher philosophy. He says that at least Carli is doing something to help the displaced people. Sam insists that Carli is different because she's not motivated by the same things as the people they fought in the past. This scene really bothered me.
How so?
Well, as the show goes on, it keeps kind of hitting on these political messages where it's like globalism good, borders bad.
Yes.
People who
it's a woke. It's a pretty woke show.
Yeah. It very much is, and the fact that Sam, straight up says I agree with what you're doing, and my country isn't the same country I fought for a long time ago, and basically throws the United States under the bus.
He didn't say that in this episode.
Yes, he did.
My world doesn't matter to America, so why should I care about its mascot?
He basically came out against the United States and said that we need to change, we need to be more of a without borders type of place, but you're going about it the wrong way. So he agreed with her philosophy, but he didn't agree with her tactics. And I just felt like that's a really bad message to be putting out there personally. And it bothered me. And so like, I'm finding Sam to be less and less sympathetic, but they're setting him up as like, you know, he's going to be the new Captain America. And yet he doesn't believe in anything America stands for. And so like, it's kind of troublesome.
Well, the fight Infus Nest's whole argument was that like these corporations are basically hijacking these supplies and keeping them from people in need.
It's not a corporation
for reasons.
It's a government body.
Yeah, well, okay. So name something that the government does that's right.
Technically, the United States is a corporation.
I'm not freaking.
The GRC is more like the UN than like any particular, you know, country or whatever,
or the International Monetary Fund.
Yeah, I'm not on board with like, oh, government good and you know the little people bad. Like I don't agree that that's like a woke message. That's just generally like, yeah, governments are pretty shitty most of the time. So I can understand why somebody would want to go around them.
Globalism is a woke message.
Yes, but but they're the bad guys. They're the terrorists in this show. Yeah. So like people who want open borders and people who want globalism are the bad people in this show.
But Sam says he agrees with their philosophy.
I agree that people need help and that governments are terrible at doing that. Like what's the worst thing a government can say? I am from the government and I'm here to help you.
Well, but he literally, you know, talks about how terrible his country treats, you know, him and his people in this episode. And I just felt like that was a very like bad message to be putting out there personally.
I'm confused. So the Flag Smashers, they want to get things back to where it was during the blip because that's when things were better
for them.
Because I don't know if that's right.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. Yeah. So because when half the population was missing, it gave the people who were downtrodden more supplies and more space so that they were able to, more freedom. So they were able to flourish. And then when that half the population came back,
post-apocalypse, right?
Yeah, it's a mixed message. Like some people enjoyed it, some people didn't.
Well,
like
Mad Max does seem awesome to me.
I guess the same thing goes for butt sex. Some people enjoy it, some don't.
Sure.
Same rules apply to a post-apocalypse, I guess. It's not for everyone.
Bring that microphone closer to you. Was this day one? Come on.
Yeah, tell us more about butt sex.
It's not for everyone.
It's not.
No, I'm okay with the idea that, like, yes,
of butt sex?
Yes. I'm all for it, man. All forms of enjoyment.
You like to have sex in an uncomfortable place?
Like the back of a revolver?
Would you like a chocolate covered pretzel?
No, for like the blip, like I get it. Like, yeah, there's going to be pros and cons from different perspectives. Sometimes it's going to be better for people who like aren't on the top of the food chain.
I think what I'm saying is that this episode really highlighted a lot of the political messaging that's been permeating the previous 3 episodes. And it brought it into the forefront of one of our main characters who we're supposed to like and be rooting for. And yet he's taken this very kind of like odd political stance in this episode that I personally didn't care for. But moving on, Zemo tells Sam and Bucky about Mamadonias' funeral, but keeps the details secret for leverage. Sam calls Sharon to have her use satellite surveillance on the refugee center, and Sharon warns him about the power broker who is pissed that they killed Dr. Nagel, and he's looking for revenge on those who did it. So we still got the mysterious power broker, and somehow Sharon has access to
satellites.
Yeah.
I think I still have access to a few satellites. Like, what? Okay.
It's like subscribing to a VPN.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just there when you need it.
I can Google Earth for you.
My subscription to Sirius Satellite just ran out.
It was a little odd. I mean, it's a spy superhero movie, so people have access to weird things like that. But
yeah, but she's not a SHIELD agent
anymore. I know.
So.
It's
SHIELD
ridiculous.
Hasn't existed for a long time.
I mean, they forgot to like take her passcode off of the computer system.
Yeah.
She can still access things.
Maybe the guy responsible for that got blipped.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
You can headcanon all kinds of reasons why she has access to a satellite, but I'm just going to say she Google Earthed it because that's basically all she was doing.
She was also tracking John Walker at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, we've seen they have great Wi-Fi. on this show, wherever they go.
All right. So besides kind of silly, I think that's all that is for that. But go ahead, Kadish.
All right. So Carli and Nico go to a cemetery to get the serum from where they hid it. Carli wonders if she's doing the right thing, making more super soldiers. And Nico assures her that she is. He compares Carli to the real Captain America and believes that she could be a symbol like Steve Rogers was. So basically in this scene, they're kind of saying that Carli is like a new version of Captain America as opposed to John Walker, who's the fake Captain America.
I took that as how do you say it? Just like a misidentity. Like they're misappropriating what Captain America was to fit their own ideology.
Well, that's what a symbol is, right?
Yeah, but I think they're in the wrong. I don't think the show is pointing that to be like, this is true, this is accurate. I think it's inaccurate, and I think these people who are doing these like terroristic things are just misappropriating what Captain America means.
But it's also a way for them to like humanize Carli, who we haven't really gotten a whole lot of time with, and the people around her see her as like a symbol, much like Captain America was for like, you know, fighting for freedom and justice and all this other stuff. But it just so happens that, you know, she's not associated with a particular country. She's without borders, without a country.
Yeah, she's Robin Hood.
I do think Matt's hitting on the right thing here, though, because they're okay. She was the bad guy, but she's slowly becoming not the bad guy in the show. And Captain America started off as the hero and is slowly becoming the bad guy in the show.
We all saw that coming.
But not to the extent of the end of the episode.
As soon as
nobody saw that coming.
As soon as Discount Cap showed up in the second episode or first episode, whatever, it was like obvious. Okay.
I figured he died, but he just keeps going.
Like he's obviously going to be an antagonist because you have to want Sam to take the shield from him.
He's U.S. agent in the comic book. So U.S. agent is like, he's a super soldier that works for the government, but he's not Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. He wants to be, but he's not. So and then Bucky takes over as captain for a while.
Oh, I like to see that.
Yeah, Bucky takes over first, and then Falcon takes over after him.
Okay.
But yeah, Bucky is because Captain America is assassinated during Civil War in the comic books, and then Bucky becomes the new Captain America, and no one knows. He just pretends to be Steve Rogers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So maybe that's the direction they're going. Because
I think so.
I would like to see Bucky take over.
He was supposed. Oh, they foreshadowed it a ton in Winter Soldier. He's holding the shield a lot.
Yeah.
And they foreshadow it a lot in Winter Soldier. So
I hope they follow through with that. We'll see. All right, continue, Kadish.
All right, so on the way to Mamadonias Funeral, Walker and Battlestar catch up with Bucky, Sam, and Zemo. They convince Walker not to take Zemo back to prison just yet and that he is their lead to Carli. When they get to the funeral, Sam tries to talk to Carli directly to reason with her, but John Walker fucks everything up by being a total dick. While the others are distracted, Zemo sneaks away and ambushes Carli as she tries to escape, shooting her and destroying most of the super soldier serum until he's knocked out by Walker, who finds one last serum vial that hasn't been destroyed.
Did we gloss over the Wakandan bodyguards that came and wrecked them?
No, that's later.
That's later?
Yeah, that's after this.
Hey, is it a bummer that Michonne wasn't part of that?
Right.
Yes.
Like, why wasn't she part of that?
She should have been.
She should have been.
100%.
It would have tied it together way better, right?
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Okay, so the conversation that Zemo had with Sam about supremacy and how like all super soldiers eventually will become that, I really enjoyed that conversation. Yeah, I thought it was really deep, really introspective.
If you want power, you will get power.
Yeah, yeah.
That's who you are.
Yeah, and I love how and Falcon's like, well, there was Captain America, Steve Rogers. He's like, yeah. Have there been any others? And it was like, you got a point, bro. Like he was a one of a kind. You're not going to find another one like that. Yeah. And I think that was a really good message. I thought it was really cool. I enjoyed the conversation. I thought it was deep and interesting, and I love Zemo's take on things. I enjoyed the hell out of that conversation that they had. Did you have any issues with that, Kadish?
No. Okay. Everything with Zemo, I'm good with.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to figure out what part of this show you didn't like, because so far, like, you had pretty minor criticisms.
We're going to get to it.
Okay, we're going to
let's get to it.
All right. You haven't said much, Jude.
I know. I hate this show so much.
She hated this episode.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
I mean, like the whole
thing. The only thing it was missing was like a dead dog. I would have like flipped a table and stormed off.
How many dead dogs can you see in 1 week?
In 1 week. We've got Chronicles of Riddick or Riddick, and then Chaos Walking, and now it should have been in here.
Yeah, stop killing dogs in movies and TV shows, please.
Yeah, but the whole thing about like John Walker deciding to go and crash like Sam's thing, like
stupid.
Yeah, like I'm just sitting there watching this. I'm just like, you just know he's gonna go fuck it up by being
Of course.
a dick.
That's what he is. That's his character. He's a
Well, they needed him to do that.
Didn't they say he has 3 medals of honor?
yeah.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
He's the greatest soldier that ever
He's
lived.
really, really good
He's
at what his
amazing,
job.
But
Yeah.
he's like
He's total
He's like
douchebag.
an idiot.
Well, he has an inferiority complex,
That is true.
and that
Yeah.
comes in full spotlight here in a minute.
Does. Yeah, because they're not even super.
Exactly.
soldiers.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. All right, couldn't go ahead, Katie.
All right. So while Carli tends to her wound, Nico comes back and says that all the vials were destroyed. The power broker contacts them by text. So apparently, like, power broker knows how to send them
Text messages.
demanding the serum back. Carli figures that they can deal with the power broker when the time comes. And meanwhile, she plans to kill Captain America to make an example of him for their cause.
So I think the power broker is the one who supplied the super serum for them, right? They didn't steal it, did
no,
they?
They stole it
They
from
stole
him.
it.
So they're not working for him?
No.
No.
I think Sharon is, though.
Yeah.
She knows a lot.
She could be a bad guy.
Yeah, she definitely could be.
Yeah, I like that. I like that angle. That's good.
I was under the impression that Carli was basically being financed by the power broker at some point.
I'm telling you, she's the good guy. By the end, she's the good guy for sure.
She's killing people.
Everyone's killing people.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be some kind of a bad guy except for like Bucky and Sam.
Ooh, that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the point.
Okay. Continue.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about something?
Well, I mean, like, it's just, it's getting to the point of ridiculousness where, like, the power broker who has all these resources, like, has a number where he knows he can text the flag smashers, and he keeps saying, like, I'm going to come for you. I'm coming for you.
I'm going to get you.
And like,
Right.
you know, Sharon has a freaking satellite at her disposal where she can track John Walker. So it's like, you mean to tell me the power broker doesn't have some satellites that he can use to track someone's cell phone or something like that?
Exactly.
Maybe that's how we got their phone number.
Or she.
Or she.
Or she, like, I have a theory that Sharon's probably the power broker.
Oh,
or something
dang.
Like that.
You heard it here first.
One of our listeners actually texted me that. They're like, what if Sharon's the power broker?
I could see it.
I could. It seems it could happen. Definitely could be.
The power broker being just completely enigmatic at this time. I mean, it could be a super smart dog. We don't know. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
Although in Endgame, Sharon was one of the people that they said was, you know, snapped, like she was disappeared. So
In this, she's not though.
yeah, but yeah,
Oh.
so like it's weird because in this, like they've
That's
never come out and said it, but like if she just came back like 2 weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
like she worked her way up pretty
She's
fast.
accomplished a lot in the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks.
She's like, how did I come back and wake up in this freaking country?
And that's one of the weird things about this show is like they did absolutely nothing to kind of set the stage for
Yeah.
everything that they're doing right now.
They tried in the first 2 episodes, but they were too distracted by bank loans.
Okay, so back at the safe house, Bucky bitches some more about how Sam turned down being Captain America.
I would too.
Walker and
Shit, I'm still
Battlestar.
complaining.
Walker and Battlestar come to take Zemo back to prison as Ao and some Dora Milaje arrive to get Zemo themselves. In a fight, Bucky gets his vibranium arm taken off,
That
Walker
was
gets
kind
his
of
butt
awesome.
kicked, and Zemo escapes in the chaos.
I love this fight
That
scene.
thing with the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was into
The
it.
freaking pressure points.
Did you know they could do that?
The five
Nope.
finger exploding palm.
Yes. And it's just
Yes!
arm just falls off. That was so freaking cool. But it's really messed up.
You think Pai Mei taught her that?
Maybe.
It was definitely Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
But it's really screwed up though, because if you think about it, right? Bucky got taken in by the Wakandans as like a safe haven. This is where we're gonna free you from your Hydra and teach you how to like get your mind back in order. And we're gonna provide you with this badass freaking vibranium arm and all this other cool stuff. But they never fully trusted him because they
Yeah.
built in a failsafe.
You know what? That's the awesome thing about Wakanda and Wakandans is that like
well, Wakanda forever.
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 Is that like they keep like just giving you a little snack of vibranium
Mhm.
and you think you're such a friggin' badass because you have a vibranium arm or you have a vibranium shield or you have some gadget that has some vibranium in it, but they are vibranium.
Yeah.
and like it just goes to show you like how freaking tough
Yeah.
and cool and scientific and smart they are. Like they are up here.
Yeah.
And no matter what your vibranium arm is doing and what you think that you can do with it and how tough you think that you are with it, bro, you're down here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool how much control and how much knowledge they have about vibranium. I mean, just the idea that they can fight Bucky, who's a super soldier, and they're not, and kick his ass.
Exactly.
And the same for all the other characters, Sam and Walker. Like they wipe the floor with them, and it's just because they're freaking badass chicks from Wakanda. That's it. That's the only reason you got to know.
And like Bucky's like. He like knows and he like respects them. He's like, I wonder that about you. And like when he gets his ass kicked, he's like, yeah, I had that coming. Whereas Walker is just like, oh, but my training should have kicked in.
Yeah. He's such a douche. I'm so glad he gets put in his place.
This was literally the dumbest scene in this entire
show.
Literally the dumbest scene.
Why?
Okay, so AO had told Bucky, you got 15 hours and we're showing up to come take Zemo back. Okay, 15 hours is up. They should have been expecting them.
Yeah, those chicks seem pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this whole fight was so contrived. Like it shouldn't have happened. Like any smart writing would have prevented this from happening. And while they're all fighting each other, Zemo, the one guy that they're all there for, just goes into the bathroom and fucks off, disappears. Like he crawls out some type of vent. Yeah. He, like
pull the poster aside.
and you'd think that at least one of the Dora Milaje, because there were like 4 or 5 of them there.
Yeah.
Like would have, like their job would have been keep an eye on Zemo until like we're out of here.
They were getting distracted by douchebag Captain America and all the other guys there. Like it was just a distraction. That's all. I don't think it was bad writing. They were just distracted.
That's a lazy, bad excuse. If you're there to get this guy who killed your king, and you let him sneak off while you're fucking around with fighting people that you're not supposed to be fighting, like Bucky and Sam should have never gotten involved in that fight. The Dora Milaje.
They just prevented Captain America from getting killed. That's really all they did.
Well, they weren't going to kill him.
She grabs a spear and goes, huh?
Yeah. And Bucky grabs it from her.
Yeah, they were trying to kill him.
Pretty sure they were going to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
No, they weren't trying to kill him. Like they pinned him down with his shield and stuff like that. Basically, this entire contrived fight
shoot him in the leg.
This entire fight scene was contrived from the ground up just to have the heroes fight each other.
Yeah.
And let Zemo escape by the characters being stupid. And that bothered me a whole lot.
Oh, I have to disagree with you. I don't think that's...
You can disagree. You're still wrong.
No, that's not how that works.
You are.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion on what we saw.
Opinion, man.
That's just like your opinion, man.
I'm rubber. You're glue.
Like he says that every time I disagree with you, he's like, it's okay because you're wrong. Like, no, that's not how that works, bro.
Stay there in your wrongness and just be wrong.
I didn't think it was stupid at all. I thought it was...
Go back to wrong mountain,
because wrong mountain.
You're wrong. Try not to blow anyone in your way.
Anyway, I disagree with you.
But I mean, like, you're so distracted by how cool the fight was that you don't understand how stupid the scenario that fight occurred in is. And it shouldn't have happened. None of this should have happened in the show.
I just see it as Zemo. Go ahead.
They needed Walker to have a crybaby moment.
Well, yeah, they needed that, but I think it was just Zemo took advantage of an opportunity to get out of there, and that was all. Oh, they're distracted right now. I'm going to zip out real quick.
But
he is a genius.
He is a genius.
If the Dora Milaje are half as good as like they're supposed to be, Zemo would have never escaped.
But they're not geniuses.
Who have a friggin...
Obviously not.
If it's a battle of wits between me and like Usain Bolt, I feel like he can outrun me, but I can solve a crossword puzzle way faster than him.
I think you're giving Usain Bolt not enough credit.
What?
Are you saying you're smarter than Usain Bolt?
I'm saying
You heard it here.
I'm saying we're all good at things, and just because you're good at one thing does not mean it translates to another thing.
Okay, what happens next?
All right.
We're just going to let that hang. Tom is smarter than Usain Bolt.
I didn't say smarter. I said solve a crossword puzzle faster.
He's better at crossword puzzles.
You compared yourself to a genius.
That's
You're welcome.
Strong's superpower.
You're welcome.
Is crossword puzzles.
All right.
Sudokus. I'm way better with Sudokus.
I believe in you.
All right. So later, Walker bitches to Battlestar about how he couldn't even handle the Dora Milaje, who aren't super soldiers.
Yeah, look at his eyebrows.
He asks if Battlestar would take the serum if he had the chance, and Battlestar says yes, inspiring Walker to make the decision regarding the recovered vial from Carli.
This is a great comparison between Sam when Zemo was like, if you had the serum, would you take it? And Sam was like, no, I wouldn't do it. And then when Walker gets introduced to the same question, he's immediately, hell yeah, I'll do it.
Well, no.
Oh, I'm sorry, Battlestar.
I'll ask you the same question. If you had a super soldier serum, would you take it?
No.
Hell yeah, I would.
I would too.
I would be terrified.
I'll be hitting home runs all day long.
I'd be terrified that
you know, that big dick energy.
Yeah.
You'd be Sudoku-ing the shit out of people.
He'd be really freaking good at crossword puzzles.
Bro.
Do you even Sudoku?
Do you even Sudoku? Yeah, one number. I'll get the rest of them.
No, because I'd be worried that the worst aspects of my personality would then be, amplified, and I'd turn out to be like freaking some douchebag musclehead.
Yeah, but you'd be so tough.
You'd be a superhero.
I appreciate that Sam.
You could be a pro wrestler. I mean,
you could be a super villain.
I could be a movie star.
Yeah.
And just have no stunt people.
That's right.
Do all the stunts myself.
You could be Tom Cruise.
I could be Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise took superhero, so yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, that is 78 years old, and I saw him jump off a train.
The thing that kills me about this scene is that, so like we're 100% confirmed that both these guys have zero superpowers.
Yeah.
And the US government is sending them out to fight super soldiers.
Yes.
He gave him a shield.
As the new Captain America. It's like, at least give him like a Stark Tech armor or something, don't just send them out, because we see what happens later on in the episode. Like, you're just going to send they're basically just regular soldiers in campy costumes.
It's just some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just some dude.
It's just some guy.
So were the Spartans.
But Sam doesn't have any superpowers. He's held his own against.
He's got a jetpack.
Yeah, he does have a jetpack.
He can fly.
He's a ton of tech.
Yeah.
He's all tech.
So they just throw, and we kind of questioned this too earlier in the season. We were like, do these guys have superpowers? Because they're like jumping off of freaking trucks and stuff.
Yeah. Like Walker got kicked off of a moving truck, hit the windshield of another car right behind him, and then hit the ground and just got up like it was nothing.
Yeah. That's because we were always questioning, early on, we were like, does he have superpowers or not? Because we can't really tell, because he's doing some super stuff.
The shield throwing is a bit dynamic.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Don't even get me started on that.
It's a bit dynamic.
The only person that should be able to do that is Cap or Bucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. And this
like,
dude is just like,
no
I'm
problem.
a football star.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Lodge that shield into a wall.
Dude's just angry.
I just hate this show.
It's a real bummer
So
after
much.
WandaVision is really what it is. Because WandaVision was so fun and so Marvel and so fun. And this is an attempt at, I don't know what they're
Like
trying to
with
do.
WandaVision, there was so much mystery that we had so much fun trying to figure out, like, are they going to do this? And what's the deal with this?
We got let
with
down.
this, it's just like, here's your episode. Fuck off.
They could all die.
And you're just like, thanks.
They could all die besides Bucky and nobody would care, right?
Yeah.
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 All right. What happens after
Right.
that?
So Carli calls Sam's sister Sarah and asks her to pass on the coordinates for a meeting to Sam. After threatening her and her kids, Sarah passes on the info to Sam, who's pissed Carli threatened his family. He and Bucky go to the meeting place to confront Carli, who wants Sam to either join her or let her go.
That conversation that they had was so stupid.
I hate it when characters say things like, I'd never let anything happen to you. They're dead because you said that. Also, he's in, where's this?
They're in like Germany or something.
Yeah. How are you going to keep anything from happening to people? You can't promise shit, and it really irritates me.
Well,
when they have their heroes be like, I would never let anything happen to you.
Like, bro, you're on the other side of the planet.
Next episode, those people are gonna die.
What got me was really irritating me is I don't remember how Carli got Sam's sister's number. Do you guys know?
Facebook.
So I have no idea how she contacted her in the beginning with.
Or how she knew all about her kids and her business.
People you may know. There it is.
So she uses this, and then she's like,
she's got that LinkedIn profile for her.
I'm gonna, make sure Sam meets me at this place, and if he doesn't, I'm coming for you and your kids. Like,
how are you gonna get there? You can't fly. You're just really tough.
Not just that, but then later on, she's like, I was never really gonna hurt them. It's totally cool. I just wanted to make sure she knew I was serious.
I was just waiting for when she was on the phone. It's like, yeah, I just got my loan delivered.
It was dumb. It was really dumb.
Oh yeah, it was a bad scene.
That I will agree with you.
But the fight scene's good.
Fight scene's really good.
Sharon calls Sam to let him know that Walker has found the Flag Smashers, and Sam realizes Walker is heading into a trap. Carli fights them and tries to keep them from interfering with her plans, but Bucky and Sam get away.
Go on to the next one.
In the immortal words of Stan Lee, enough said.
All right, Walker and Battlestar break into the building where the Flag Smashers are hiding. Walker is juiced up now, but Battlestar gets taken hostage. The Flag Smashers realize that Walker is superpowered now and get their butts kicked by him. Bucky and Sam arrive and help Walker fight the Flag Smashers as Battlestar gets himself free. Carli arrives and is about to kill Walker when Battlestar interrupts her, and he gets killed instead, kicked into a steel pillar. And everyone is super sad that Battlestar died, even though they were there to kill him and Captain America.
Exactly. This also irritated me. They were like, we're going to kill Captain America. And then as soon as they kill Captain America's sidekick, they're all like, what have we done?
Yeah, they'd lost the will to fight.
Well, I think maybe they had it in their heads.
Confused.
They had it in their heads that they were going to do something. And then once they actually did it, they were like, oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea.
Well, that's stupid because in the last episode, they also killed a bunch of people. But now you're like, so torn? I don't get it.
Was it, who actually killed him? It was
Carli.
Carli actually was the one who did it?
Yeah, she kicks him, I think.
Yeah, she kicks him into the pillar and he snaps his vertebrae.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah, which is another reason why it's like, why are you sending normal people to fight super soldiers?
For real.
You're giving these normal ass people superhero names, which is very misleading.
Yeah.
And you're not giving them any superpowers.
That chick can run 50 miles an hour, and they just sent some dude in a jumpsuit. Like, go kick her ass, bro.
He doesn't have a shield.
Like,
he's got nothing.
Kind of like a baseball bat or something. Like, you got it, man.
This is exactly what happens.
It's just a girl. She can't fight.
I don't know. I thought it was sad, but yeah, you guys are. It didn't make any sense why they regretted it immediately afterwards.
Well, yes.
I mean,
if they had been like, yeah, and then walked out of the room, I would have believed it more. But they were all like, oh dear, oh no, this thing happened.
And then the dude was like,
shouldn't have done that.
The dude. Well, we haven't gotten to that part yet, but I guess we'll get there in a second. But the fight scene, okay, I'll just say this: the fight scene was cool looking. Oh yeah, I did enjoy watching.
Sure,
Bucky,
all of the fight scenes looked cool.
Bucky was
it's pretty good.
I mean, there's fight scenes out there that are terribly choreographed, and and there's all shaky cam, you can't see anything.
So far, and this has been good.
Yeah, they've done a really good job on these ones, and I like.
Show aside, the action's been good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Moving on. What happens next?
All right, the Flag Smashers all make a run for it, but Walker is enraged by the death of his friend and chases Nico out into the public and brutally kills him with Cap's shield as pedestrians look on and take photos. Carli, Sam, and Bucky look on as Cap's shield is now literally has blood on it, and Walker is officially evil, just like America.
You made me snot.
I don't agree with that. I think Walker is evil. Walker's a douchebag, which we saw coming a mile away.
I don't know. Is he even evil or is he just crazy?
Did he
snap because the serum made... I don't know. We didn't even get to see him take the serum. This show's stupid, and I hate it.
That's another weird thing. Apparently, the serum is not as invasive or complicated to take as Captain America let me believe.
Well, it was in the 40s.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cigarettes.
In episode 3, they made it a point to say like, "Oh, you just drink the serum, and it doesn't change you. Doesn't change you physically, like what the other guys process."
Yeah, because it made Cap get real buff.
Yeah.
But now they don't have the time to do that with their actors, so they're like, "Oh, by the way, that was a side effect. We're not doing that anymore."
Yeah, exactly.
But that is a weird side effect to take off of your serum instead of the crazy juice that's in it. Maybe focus on taking the crazy juice out and leaving the buff juice in.
It's not the crazy juice. It's who you are.
Yeah, it just amplifies your own personality.
So if you are a selfish prick and that's who you are, it's amplified by 1,000.
Yeah.
But Steve Rogers was Captain America because he was selfless and he never gave up.
And he was righteous.
He knew what it was to be weak. And that's why he was so successful as Captain America. Where you take anybody else, you take the
soap, three metals.
You take A-Rod.
He jumped on 3 different grenades.
Who?
Walker.
He had a technique.
Walker.
What is this thing that he did with his helmet?
That's what he said.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But Stanley Tucci specifically sought out Steve Rogers because he knew that
Yes.
that would get amplified. And so he was looking for someone who had the qualities that would make a super soldier, regardless of the powers that they had.
Good moral compass.
Yeah.
Defender. He had that personality already.
So I'm not surprised at all. I mean, everybody saw this coming a mile away.
Oh, yeah,
Walker's a douchebag. When he takes the serum, it's going to amplify that. They killed his friend. Somebody killed his friend, and then he wanted revenge.
He's like a roid rage monster right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly.
Which is why I don't like Kate just made the joke about, oh, America is bad. I don't take it as that. I think this is solely on Walker. Walker is the evil person. He's wearing.
That's the symbolism and the messaging of the show, though.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's not. It's the character who is hijacked the Captain America persona. He's not actually, nobody actually thinks this dude is Captain America.
They had press conferences.
It's nonsense. Everybody knows it's bullshit.
He is the symbol of America.
But the one who is actually the symbol that we see as fans of Marvel are looking at either Sam or Bucky. Those are the two.
Bucky's a terrorist.
That's true.
Okay, so Sam then. Because we all know Sam is supposed to be the one who is supposed to carry the shield.
Yeah,
and at the end of the show...
And he spent the entire episode talking about how much he hates the country that he's supposed to be representing.
He never said those words.
You are exaggerating.
You're getting... Yeah. Thank you, Jude.
No, he was talking about how he agreed with Carly's philosophy.
He agreed that
about how the country does not treat him and his people very well. And I mean, like it's a very political message in the show.
I think people are just too raw. I think people nowadays are so raw with woke messaging that anytime anything even hints, they freak out about it. Like, it's like, just tone it back a little bit. Because I can see maybe a little bit of that, but I disagree that it's like so poignant and like very obvious. Like, no, they're talking about the characters in the show. No, you don't agree with me, Tom?
I'm in between you and Matt on this one. Like, okay, I don't think it's so in your face, but the subplot is very much there. Yeah, very much so.
I see it as more of a Robin Hood thing. It's, there's people in need of help, and these mega countries or corporations
that's how propaganda gets you, Alex. It's when you overlook it and you just like let it into your brain.
Obey. Consume.
Sleep.
Guys are so freaking overly raw about all this stuff. I think that's all it is. Because, I mean, there's people out there who, Star Trek is communist propaganda.
It is though.
No, it's not. It's an idealized world. It's not communist propaganda.
It's a communist utopia.
It's not. I just think people are way oversensitive these days. That's where I'm going to leave it.
I'm not upset about the Star Trek thing. That's just the way it is. It's the future.
I just think people are way oversensitive. And I think there are hints, there's messages in the show. I'm not saying there aren't, but I just don't think they're as blatant and over the top as people are putting them out to be.
It's subtle. It's a subplot.
There's subplots in every show.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're going to get that. Even in the comic books themselves, there's subplots about,
correct.
Correct. Progressive ideology.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
So you're agreeing with us.
I'm saying it is there. I'm not saying that it's like, oh my God, these are freaking woke TV shows.
We'll get into this in the conspiracy podcast. I have a lot of thoughts.
All right. Is there anything else? Is that the end of the episode?
That is the end of the episode.
Okay. I thought the imagery of having Captain America, in quotes, because it's not actually him, kill somebody with the shield was very striking. And I think it got me hooked finally. Like, I wasn't into the show.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
The first 3 episodes, I was kind of like, meh. This one, I'm like, okay, now I'm finally invested.
Something's happening.
Now I want to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Like this, 4 episodes in.
Well, because now
there's only 2 left.
I know.
But Falcon and Winter Soldier have to fight Captain America now.
That's great.
And
good.
That's awesome.
I hope they kick the shit out of them.
They will.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll see who ends up with the shield.
I think it's going to be Sam.
Yeah, it's definitely Sam. I mean, like in the original teasers, they had him throwing the shield.
Yeah, that's very true.
They kind of spoiled the shit out of that in the trailers.
Yeah,
huh?
the trailers are very misleading for what the show actually is.
Yeah.
I would say that very, very forefront. Well, the WandaVision, no one had any idea what that was. That was a mystery from day one all the way to the very end. But this one, we all thought we had a pretty good, no, I don't know what's going on here.
They keep switching gears.
I'm okay with it. I'm going to keep watching it, obviously. I mean, nothing's going to stop me from watching the show. But we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Jude, do you have any final thoughts on this episode?
I hate this show so much.
Really?
And I don't want to talk about it anymore. But I made a commitment.
Yeah, like if we weren't reviewing this for the podcast, I'd probably have given up watching this show.
Yeah.
I can tell.
And if we're going to devolve into talking about politics the next time we talk about this fucking show, I'm out.
That's your boy right there.
I don't know.
Okay. That's it. Are we good? Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kadish, final thoughts?
I don't like this show. I think it's
I don't
bad.
know why people enjoy watching us talk about shit that we hate so much. Is this enjoyable for you? Are you entertained?
Yeah, Star Wars fans.
I think this show is badly written. I don't agree with the political propaganda that they're shoving into it. I think that it's a mess of a story. And I think that the writing is very stupid and I don't like it. The only good thing I can say about it is that I like the actors in the show. Other than that, it's terrible. It's an awful, awful TV show.
Okay. All right, guys, that's our review for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 4. Tune in next week when we talk about episode 5.
Thank God we only have 2 more. Thank God.
No, next time, let's not commit to a weekly review until we see the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like a wrap.
Yeah. We'll do a recap if we want to. All right, that's it. That's our review for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Tune in next week. Again, where can we find everybody on the socials? Jude, where can they find you?
At I am Jude Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
All right, Tom.
You can find me if you so wish. Instagram, Big T2681. Share your food pictures with me because it's really all I use it for.
Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish, on Twitter, and kadishbooks.com will take you to my Amazon page.
And I am the Salty Nerd. You can catch me on Twitter at salty_nerd. And as always, stay salty, my friends.